Random.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Leslie Morgan. Y'all know me by my nickname, Real Estate L. I'm a real estate agent from Detroit, Michigan. And today we're going to talk about the pros and cons versus buying a home and renting a home in today's market. Let's go. All right, so what we're going to do today, right? We're going to go over rents first, dealing with pros and cons in today's market. Then we're going to go to homeowners, dealing with buying a property, owning a property, you're thinking long term, and the pros and cons of that. And we're going to be able to sit down and figure out, what be able to fit the mold that you're looking for and what you should be able to know and look out for in today's market when making your decision on your next move. And when you do make your next move, don't forget to go to lesliemorgan.kw.com. All right, I got my website in the background. It looks immaculate, I know. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let's talk about the pros of renting. All right, so when people think about rentals, they thinking about, okay, this is short term, most likely. Also, you're not really looking at be there 5 years. This is something more likely 1 to 2 year stay if you like the area, and also depending on the demographics of what's going up, what new construction is, and also how much the rents cost. Right. So we're gonna look at the pros of the location, also being able to have the mobility to move within a 1 to 2 year, depending on how the lease is set up. Right, you can move out of state. Let's say your job, dropped, you get laid off, and you got another job, and it's like 20 miles out the way. You might want to move. You don't want to stay there long term. But let's say that you actually bought a house there and that happened. That would be kind of bad for you because you like, okay, I can't move. I'm stuck here. So now you're looking for properties. I mean, really, you're looking to sell your home now just so you could be closer to your job. And it's crazy in this type of market we're dealing with, the instability of the really the jobs is coming back, in Detroit. And that's one thing I can say positive about Detroit is that it's a lot of job growth. The market is on the up and up. And I'm proud to say this, that I'm actually seeing our people come up, and I want to continue to see that, I like to see the zeal and like to see positivity out here. So we're going to push positivity out here. We want to push home ownership out here, but also we want to push people to be able to take the right steps into getting home ownership. So we're going to talk more about the cons of rental properties, right? Now, when you rent, I hope you notice rental payments never stop. Ever, ever, ever. All right. It's just forever, ever. All right. And then on top of it, right, every year, most likely, those rents can go up, adjustly to the market growth or wherever the market cap is at for that particular area. So let's say you rent a townhome or a house and a rent you moved in was $790, right? And then next thing you know, the lease was up 12 months later, and they tell you, hey, now we want you to pay $840. Then you say, okay, cool, I'll do it, what I'm saying? 840 ain't bad. Then the rents go up again the next contract. And now they say, okay, we want you to pay $920, because $920 is what market value is for a 3-bedroom for the property that you're staying in. And you be like, oh, okay, and then next year come around, all right, hey, Les, how you doing? Like, hey, I'm doing good. All right, well, now your rent is $1110. I'm sorry, but the rent market is saying the value of your property that you're renting right now is this. And I could continue to go on and on and on about quantitative easing, all right? But the thing about it, right, rents typically continue to go up, jack up, higher and higher. So you be forced to move off of that, right, economically, But let's say that you stay there, you do the right things, you save up some money, and we can now talk about the pros into being a homeowner. Now, becoming a homeowner, a lot of people get it misconstrued like, oh, it's so hard, it's tough, man. You got to put all this money down. Well, that is, some parts is true. You do got to put a large down payment down most times if you do want a house. But you look at what you're paying monthly. I recently just did a search on my website. And my website was basically showing me what was going on in my market. So I looked up some areas in the Taylor, Michigan area, right? And I looked at the rents for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, over 1,000 square feet, right? And I came up to my search and it said about 1,300 for the decent houses that I was looking to move into. So I did the same thing, and I looked at for what I'd be approved for a mortgage, basically about 130 range. I saw that my mortgage payment will only be $706 versus me paying what I'm paying for mortgage. I mean for rent. So it's like, you look at your rents like, okay, I pay more monthly, but I have the mobility to be able to move, and it's not my property, but the property may not be as nice as I like for my family dealing with home improvement, right? But then you think about buying a property, you can buy it, but if you got all your ducks in a row, or the money is to be able to save up, to be able to put down a nice down payment, you can actually have a cheaper note monthly, meaning you can retain more cash, you can have an easier living life, you can be able to do things that you want to do. And then on top of it, you got the pride of being a homeowner. Typically in the areas that I've seen in the citizens I talked to, right? People I talked to, right? All right, they all tell me that I want to move in the area that's homeowners. You look at the areas, the upkeep of the homes are better. You look at the area, you see people working on the roofs, and you see people out there mowing the lawn. It's manicured to look nice. So really depend on, what fits your mode, So let's go about the pros also about owning a property is that appreciation over time. All right, statistically, it shows that that property will appreciate over time. I mean, and then it does have times where we had to crash when the bubble burst, in 2008, where a lot of properties depreciated in value. That was very shocking to a lot of homeowners. But the market has rebound. But I do see that the market is going on a downturn. But that's just really basically making a buyer seller market. I mean, basically we understand markets all are cycles, okay, people. All right, it's always a down, it's always an up, and always a down. All right, that's just how it go, okay. So what I want to do is go dive in more on some of the cons of actually owning a home. Is that all that maintenance is up to you. The reason why you do see people working on the roofs in these nice areas as well manicured is because they have the time and also the funds to be able to well maintain their properties and keep the property up to a standard where they feel people will love it, their family will love it. And then they got to worry about these repairs, because you get a roof leak and you own that property, you can't call the landlord to come fix that like you could do on a rental property. You got to fix that, So it's a lot of things you got to take in consideration if you're ready for a property, to be a homeowner. One I look at is price. Am I willing to pay high rents in this market right now to avoid me putting down higher down payment? Versus me, hey, I just got my taxes back. I got a lot of money saved up in my 401k on top of my savings. I think I'm ready to make that move. I can afford a down payment of 3.5%, and I can afford closing costs. I think it's time for me to stop playing with my family and go ahead and buy this property that I want, my dream home. So the dream home that you want to buy now, are you thinking about, okay, what's the whole process of buying a property, dealing with getting that dream home, right? I just want you to think about this. Typically, when you get a house, right, you get pre-approved, okay? Just want you to tell you about that. You go through the pre-approval process. After you get pre-approved, you look for a property with a realtor, myself, okay? And after you look with the properties, you like the properties, you submit an offer, the offer get accepted. After the offer get accepted, that's your property. After that, all the stuff is underwriting and mortgages, doing all that stuff in a 45-day period. And after that, we do the final walkthrough. You like the property, bada bing, bada boom, you a homeowner. All right, make it real simple, But, going through that process, now you enabled yourself to be able to save more money. You have a piece of land that you can call your own. You have an asset that appreciate, and also you could pass down to your children. And then also if you buy smart, the right location, everything is location, right? You're in the right school district, right? You ain't got to worry about too much now, other than just going back and forth to work and being the best dad or best mom you can for your family, versus rents. Not saying, being in the rental markets is bad, but I have noticed you do have some districts or some areas that has no rentals. All of them are homeowners. So to get in some of these areas is get your children in the right school district. You got to be a homeowner. So what I want to do quickly is dive into some tips I can give you guys in becoming a homeowner as well. Typically to get approved for a mortgage, they're going to look 2 years into your taxes. So you're going to need a tax guy to be able to do your taxes for you. So I want to shout out one of my people that I use. He's a tax specialist and he's an accountant. My dude named Aljahmi Tax Service. I might have his information in his email in the description below. And also, we're getting a property. You want to get your credit in line. A lot of people have some stuff on their credit that all they got to do is get it removed. Like, bada bing, bada boom, you score shoot up. You be able to get your property in within 3 months. I got a local specialist. Her name is Sandra Brown. I'm going to have her information in the description link below. All right, I want y'all to go to her if you have any questions about credit. And then also about being a realtor. Let's say you got all your ducks in a row. Let's say you're ready to shoot the gun. Let's say, hey, I'm not ready to buy yet, but I am ready to get in the house. Working with realtors is awesome because I can get you in properties that is basically what you want to say sanctioned, okay? You ain't got to worry about dealing with janky owners, okay? These properties are on contract. They're on the MLS. We have certain laws, regulations, and statutes that we have to abide by to even put the properties on there. So most likely you getting scammed is zero, okay? It's real. It's not likely you do that when you working with professionals, okay? And the local professionals, I will take good care of you. But let's say you want to be able to buy a property, I also have a circle of people you can work with as well. I'm a well of resources. I have all the information in the link in the description below. I hope me talking about the pros and cons of renting properties versus buying properties help you make the right decision for you and your family. I want you to have a blessed day. Thank you for going to my website. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. I'm looking to give you guys more and better exclusive content. I'm looking to upgrade, a lot of information I can give you dealing with buying a house, renting a house, anything from real estate, even on the investor side. I want to be able to be that well of information and resource for you guys. All right. Thank you for your time. Thank you for everything and be blessed. Amen.
Yonder music.